Welcome back to AFTV, everyone. We've got some major breaking news in regards to important players coming back to full fitness with the squad and a striker that Arsenal have apparently made a £22 million bid for. Let's go straight into it, waste no time, because Arsenal, who have had a more depleted squad than we'd have liked with some of the injuries we've had some key players missing, the likes of Jurriën Timber, Thomas Partey, Gabriel Jesus wasn't fit for the other day, Fabio Vieira's missed this whole month, but it looks like some of those players could be back for a really crucial part of the season, and crucially, there might be some incomings to discuss as well. I've got it all here on my phone, so you have to bear with me while I just wade through all the news, because there is a lot, and I think it's only right we start with the transfer news, because we've got to remember what all the reports have been saying. And I'm not saying they're wrong, and I'm not saying that this report is right, but everyone's been saying, and I understand it, FFP issues mean that Arsenal have been very quiet in the market, expect to be, unless there's a major outgoing, don't expect Arsenal to do anything big on the incomings front. But there are reporters, journalists, reports in general that are telling us, actually, there is some hope for some business, and anyone who wants a striker, well, you may have your wish very soon. Let's go into what is being said, because Steve Brenner is the reporter at S Brenner News, has reportedly said that, well, let me find it. Now I've managed to lose it in front of me. Here we go. That Arsenal have made a £22 million bid for Getafe striker Borja Mayoral. Arsenal's £22 million bid, though, was rejected. Arsenal have been following Mayoral closely since November, and Getafe want closer to £39 million. That is the news that's been coming out late on a Wednesday evening. And look, I'll be really totally honest. I don't know much in the way of how good this player is, nor how reliable this report is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm also not saying that this is definitely happening and, drop everything, people. Arsenal are signing a striker. So we're going to have to tentatively follow this. But it is really interesting, because when reports come out saying that a bid has been made, yeah, that's quite a big claim. And it's one to at least look into. Now, what do we know of this player? I'm going to be very honest. I didn't know very much. Now, it's not a name that I don't recognise. I very much do. He was a former Real Madrid player. How well he did there? Well, Wikipedia is going to help me in a second. I know he's a striker, and he's still playing his football in Spain. So let's give you some news. I think the thing you really want to know is that he is in the top three goal scorers in La Liga. He's behind Bellingham. He's got 13 goals. Morata has 12. He has 12 himself, and an assist as well. So there you go. 13 goal contributions in 19 games. So he's doing quite well for Getafe. We've got some other stuff on him. Here we go. He was in the Real Madrid B team till 2016. Then in the Real Madrid full team squad as well. He's had loan spells at Wolfsburg, Levante, Roma, and Getafe on loan before making that deal permanent, and he's got 20 goals in 54 games for Getafe. It's not a remarkable goal scoring record. I mean, I know I'm reading here 17 goals in 38 games for Real Madrid B, only 3 in 22 for Real Madrid themselves, and again 10 in 36 for Roma, 11 in 63 for Levante, and a 2-year loan spell. Yeah, it's not been brilliant. So he has gone and played his football in Germany and in Italy as well, but predominantly played in Spain. And like I said, he's the third top goal scorer in La Liga this season, only one behind Jude Bellingham. And look, Jude Bellingham doing it from midfield, doing it at Real Madrid, doing it with all the hype and the price tag has been really, really impressive. This guy is one goal behind him. Now, no, I'm not saying he's anything like him. Don't twist that. I'm just saying that fair play. 12 goals is impressive and is maybe something to take note of. Is it, sometimes strikers have purple patches. Sometimes strikers have moments. They have a season where it all kind of happens for them. I remember where Rocky Santa Cruz was brilliant in the Premier League. Man City signed him and it never really worked there. We've seen purple patch. Who remembers Michu, Michu at Swansea? I was like, we've got to sign this guy. And then, I don't really know what happened after that. So, I do think it's worth just being a little bit tentative with this news. Maybe not getting overly excited yet, but definitely want to keep an eye on. And as I'm doing this breaking news, to make sure I don't lose anything, I will sort of keep refreshing my phone. So if I'm being rude and looking down on my phone, that is why. If there is anything else that comes through, I'll be sure to tell you. There is something else though on the striker front, which is that Mika Biereth, who was an Arsenal Academy player, he's out on loan at Motherwell. He had been training with Arsenal, but he wasn't recalled by Arsenal. Some people thought that might be the case. So, that's just interesting. It does seem like Arsenal do want to do something in the striker area. Now, let's talk about the big injury boost that comes for Thomas Partey and Gabriel Jesus. We'll start with the striker because the news is that Arsenal hope that Gabriel Jesus could be back after the trip to Dubai, as the knee issue which forced him to miss the FA Cup defeat to Liverpool is believed to be minor. Now, the word minor was used when we first heard about this news, which was great, but it's just good that further scans and looking into it are telling us there's nothing really to worry about. I think we were all fearing the worst. We know this is a player who's had quite a lot of injuries in his time at Arsenal. In fact, I've got it here. He's had a hamstring injury, according to Transfermarkt, that kept him out for 6 games and 26 days. He missed 4 games earlier this season with a knee injury, 24 days, and he had a really big knee injury that kept him out for some of the World Cup, and 17 games included with Arsenal and Brazil, 99 days injured as well. That big knee injury, I think it was about 3.5 months, 4 months without playing football. We made his return against Fulham towards the end of last season. So, that's a long list of injuries in a short time at Arsenal. Just about coming to a year and a half his time at the club, and 4 big injuries, 3 of them knee. I actually thought the one he suffered against Sevilla, do you remember when he went down? I thought that was a knee injury, but it might have been back of the knee / hamstring, so maybe that's that. But it'd be a massive boost if he's back. We know that Arsenal are trying to do something with that striker area. They've started Havertz, Nketiah, Jesus in that role before. Trossard has played there. Now we're hearing about bids for Mayoral, apparently. Yeah, it just tells you that maybe Arsenal are really trying to address that striker area properly. Now, the other news is around Thomas Partey. It comes from John Cross, Sammy Mockbell confirming it as well, that Thomas Partey could give Arsenal a major boost by returning before the end of January. He stepped up his rehab work and could return to first team duty for Arsenal's Nottingham Forest trip on January the 30th. So we know that we've got this weekend off because of the winter break, England's version of the winter break. We also know that Crystal Palace comes next weekend. That's a home game. And then we have a trip to Nottingham Forest. Partey could be back for that. That would be big. That would be really big to have Jesus and Partey available. Partey with Ødegaard and Rice was the midfield I think we all anticipated. It was the midfield we thought Arteta would go. Certainly one I thought. And Kai Havertz would play a part of a role in there, but he did start the season at right back. So what are we going to do there? There's rumours that Ben White isn't fully fit, so we're going to see Thomas Partey playing at right back and inverting there again. I don't know. Well, I don't know what his plan is for Thomas Partey, Mikel Arteta's, but after the form he showed last season, we know he's a player that can have a big impact on the way this Arsenal team play. We also know that, when he came on against Man City, we thought we finally had Partey back. He played one great long ball to Tomiyasu. It was nodded down to Havertz, who rolled it into Martinelli before it went into the back of the net, via Nathan Ake's face, I should say. And we thought, okay, brilliant. Partey is getting in the groove now. We're going to have him back. This is brilliant. Only to find out he had another injury as well. So, yeah, it's been frustrating kind of watching his injuries sort of throughout his years at Arsenal, of which he's had very, very many. But he is a player that's also kind of shown his quality in an Arsenal shirt. And Arteta will be wanting to have him back. And so we can at least try for a sustained period of time a Rice, Partey, Ødegaard midfield 3. I guess he had the chance to play at the beginning of the season with, just before Tomiyasu got injured, Timber got injured, Kieran Tierney went on loan. He probably could have tried it earlier. He did try in the Community Shield, but not in a league game. So it was disappointing from that perspective that we haven't really seen that midfield 3 at all. I guess Partey inverting, you kind of get that midfield 3, but it's not really the same. We want to see that midfield 3 starting games like it did in the Community Shield, like it ended against Man City in the league game, and we might be getting that come the end of the month, and that's a big boost for Arsenal as well. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. How seriously are you taking these reports? Do you believe that Borja Mayoral is a player Arsenal need? Do you think he's a player Arsenal should be looking at? I want to do my research myself so I get to grips a little bit more with what kind of a player he is, what kind of a player Arsenal are looking to add to their group. And, the injury news, Jesus, if he can just be that little bit more prolific in front of goal, for me is a massive, massive player for us. And we want him to get that confidence and that sharpness back. Injuries won't be helping. Thomas Partey, we're hoping he'll be the missing part of our midfield. And we go from there. But things look, after 3 bad results, this is slightly more positive news, but we need to see them in action. We need to see them playing well for the shirt. That's the most important thing, and we need to get some results. We've got a little bit of a break before we're back in action, but this kind of news is ticking us over. Let's see what happens in the coming days. Go check out Transfer Daily tomorrow morning, where Robbie will cover this in more detail, and of course any breaking news will keep you up to date on AFTV. Catch you very soon.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.